Hi folks, welcome to my channel. My name is Miguel and I'm going to show you a little bit how I work with my recent setup with the BCFs and BCR and some of additional stuff I did to automate reason with a tool called Autohotkey. So with no delays, if you know my other video about the BCFs, I created a remote map that enables me to use the BCFs and the BCR together and controlling 24 channels at each time in the mixer, in the Reason mixer. So I have here a blank project just to show that my BCFs are working together in Reason. I'm going to create a bunch of tracks so that you can see them working separated and with all the channels of the BCF of the Reason SSL. So now what's happening is that the faders of the mixers are advancing to their positions at the time the different channels are being loaded in by Reason. If I go up to this position, I start getting the mixers placed in this position of the they placed in this position, and now they are controlling channels from channel 9 to channel 24. Okay, and these channels here lose context because there are no more channels in the mixer to being controlled by the BCFs. But now that I can now create more channels, and they appear in the mixer. Okay, so now I'm controlling these channels here, and the BCFs are controlling all these channels. And if I want to go back and control the previous channels from 1 to 24, I can go back here, and the mixers are now controlling from channel 24, channel 1 to channel 24 here. Okay, so if I continue going up and I create more channels, you can see that the mixer is now at channel 23, track 23. I'm going to create more channels, and my mixer keeps going on and always controlling the different channels from the devices. You can see the BCFs are a little noisy, but the thing is they are really controlling all these channels, so you can see all these channels being controlled. Okay, so the great thing about having all these controls is that I not only have faders enabled, so I'm controlling the faders of the mixers. I also have control over the panning, so I can come here and I control the panning of the different channels. You can see I'm here controlling now the panning of channel 17, but I also have control over the wide, so I'm now controlling you can see this because this channel is not, but let me load here an Europa. Europa is a stereo device, so I'm now working with Europa here. It's my channel 2, and you can see here that I'm lowering the wideness, the stereo wideness of this channel. The others you don't see it because they are mono channels, but you can see it in the example. I also have mapping for the gain of the mixer. and now I'm going for a little trick so that you can see the gain. This is one of the Autohotkey scripts I've done to enhance a little bit the workflow in Reason. So I have a little script that senses it has an Autohotkey. It's control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it toggles the position of the mixer, so I can access really quick to different parts of the mixer. So in this manner, I really have access to all the stuff in the mixer and have the stuff in my face, and I can identify what I'm working on. But as I was saying, when I'm taking care of the levels of the different tracks, I can toggle to this position here, and now I have control over the gain. You can see I'm controlling the gain of channel 11, okay, and now I'm controlling the gain input of channel 8, now of channel 7, and here I'm controlling channel 12, I think. Yes, there it is. Sorry, 19, and so on. Now, and I can also invert. I'm on channel 15 now, 14. Invert the source if I'm working with a drum machine that has stuff that I need to. A drum machine, a drum setup that I have to take care of inversions of the sound so that I don't have phasing issues, and I can come here and work out this stuff. So basically I would start my mix by taking care of these levels in this position, and then I probably would balance the mix with the faders, and then I would go to equalize each channel, always having context between the music that is playing, the whole mix, and the soloed channels. So I would go back and forth with these methods. So imagine that now I'm going to take care of channel 1. I would solo channel 1. I would probably work over the equalizer, but I have a problem because my channel 1 is not selected, and so I don't have context for that channel in the Spectrum EQ. In my first in the beginning, what I would do, I was able to going forth and back with the sequencer. So as you can see in the sequencer, my tracks would go up and down, and the status of the spectrum will follow. The problem is, what I felt with this behavior was that I wouldn't notice where I was working on between the mixer and the BCF. So it was not a bad way to work, but if I was working in this channel here and I wanted to go and take care of something over here, I would have to toggle down a bunch of times until I got to the place. Okay, so I had an issue I had to take care, because I really would like these 4 devices to work as one. So what I did was, at some point in my day work, I started working with remote process automation. One of the tools that we worked with was a tool called Autohotkey, and the first problem I tried to solve with this tool was trying to put these things working together. So what I did at that time is I created a bunch of modes for working. I have a mode for mixing, I have a mode for sequencing, and a mode for where everything is off in case it craps off. But what I did is I created a mode, and you can see up here that I have the focus of the mode of the script that is running. And in this case, the script shows me that it is ready, it's waiting for my commands, and it's saying to me that it's showing the input section. That is this part here that I showed you before, where I just press Windows 1 and it toggles to the dynamics, and I press 2 and it toggles for another thing, in this case inserts. But the first problem I solved was really having context between the whole different devices. And so since my problem was that I couldn't have this context, one thing that I noticed was that these buttons here, the sequencer and the rack button, it would be great if these buttons were remotable. I wouldn't have to create a script for this. These buttons were remotable in a remote file. If I could say in the remote file that the sequencer selection was for example the top button, I would not need to create all this script. But since Reason doesn't have this remotable, and the function also doesn't position the sequencer, it only flags the place of this track. So since all these issues still exist, I had to find a way of working this out. What I found was that I needed something that would be transposable between the mixer and something that would allow me to select a different an additional thing. So just so that I can explain you really quick what the script does is that I solo my channel in this window. Okay, in the BCR. Now the script notices that there is a channel soloed. Okay, looking at this button here. So the script is scanning the image that is being showed by the software, by Reason. So it scanned this mixer window, I think about once a second. Then it finds, okay, there's a solo channel. Now I have to find that channel and I have to set context for that channel. And what it does is he goes to the track, the Rex window. So it toggles to this window here. Now I'm on the window here. You can see I'm working around here. Now what he does is he's going to close all the devices in the mixer, and now he tries to find a solo channel. So he now finds the channel and he goes here and he positions me in the channel here. Now what I'm doing here is the same that I would do around here. I could do it with the sequencer, but I don't have since the mixer in Reason has its own soloed and mute states, and the sequencer has its own solo and mute states. These are separated states of the tracks and mixer and so on. In the end, I have to do it in the side of the rack window. So let me show you what happens. So imagine I need to go to channel 1. I'm in this channel. I need to go to the channel 1. I need Reason to position me for I to be able to start EQing or something else. So I would unsolo this channel and I would solo this channel, and now I need Reason to toggle to this channel. So I'm going to activate the mixing mode in my script, Autohotkey, I press Ctrl F1, and it starts telling me that the channel okay, let's do it again. If I need to go from audio track 1 to audio track 8, I toggle to this channel, and Reason Now positions me on the channel. And now this allows me to have the 4 devices completely synchronized, in the sense that I have these 3 devices are completely slaved to the mixer, and this device is in master mode, so it can toggle to what track is selected. So if I need to go to channel 19, so I'm at this point I'm in channel 16, 17, 18, 19, I'm going here, and now Reason will toggle there. So what's the benefit of this is that because with this behavior, my BCR is completely free to be toggled by all the channels. So if I select this device, I now can activate my equalizer, and I like to use the equalizer in this mode, the E mode, where all the cues are very fine. And now I can work really fast in the EQ. Okay, so I worked out at this position, and I have the EQ working for this channel. Okay, so now imagine I have to go to another channel and EQ that other channel. Reason positions itself in the other, Autohotkey pulls Reason to that contacts again, and I'm at channel 8, and I can EQ the channel again. Okay, but I've reviewed the BCR 2000 remote map from Propellerheads, from Reason Studio, and that remote map is now changed so that I have the BCR configured in a manner that it works with all the sections of the mixer. So if I'm now working on I'm working on over the EQ of channel 8, and if I want to connect the compressor, let me show you the compressing section of channel 8, and now I can set the compressor on, because I have all the buttons of the compressor are mapped in my remote map. And now I'm setting up the ratio, and I'm setting up the threshold, and I'm setting up the release. So it's really fast to toggle from these different points, and I can completely mix a song as long as I'm using, and not exclusively, but as long as I'm using the SSL devices, I'm controlling all these. But not exclusively. I can show you that it's not exclusively. I now activated the gate, and I'm controlling the gate with the BCR. So this is really fast to work. Now if I have to go to another track and do all this for the same track, it already toggled, and now I'm working on the EQ. I'm EQing. Okay, I'm working over here, and now I can go to the compressor and compress the hell of it, compress the song, the track, and I'm controlling here the gate, and I'm controlling also the compressor. Okay, so what's next? The next problem I solved with this, with this thing, was that when I have really big projects, imagine I have a project with 40 channels, 50 channels, 60 channels, and I'm using a smaller monitor. It only has space for about 24 channels. And one thing that I noticed was that without any work reason, when I toggle, for example, to control channel, in this case I would be controlling channel 32 to 43, for example, and reason would not follow this. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. The problem is I'm at channel, I'm at track 1. Okay, and I'm going up to channel 24, and I'm controlling 24 to the latest one, 43, and the reason doesn't follow the channel. So I had to make something that could allow me to control this better. So what I did, I created another part of the script. The part is the same. The script first tries to check where the base channel is, and if the base channel is not at this position around here, if the base channel is not here, then it will try to find the base channel. So in a matter of seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, 3 seconds, the script will find the position of the base control, and will set the mixer window to that position. So what I have to do is only again activate the mixing mode, and now it toggled to the position. So it about 1 to 5 seconds or less, it searched my song position, my position in the mixer. And if I go back again, it will go back and position me in that place. So I can go again, and you'll see now that it's going up and down. Why does this happen? Because I had to create a manner to tell the script that, hey, your mixer is over, you don't have to go any longer. Okay, because the script is trying to put the mix here, the position here. He's trying to put it here, about here, so that I have the context of the 24 channels. So he's not controlling these channels up to these channels, and I have the full control of the channels. Because in newer devices like the X Touch and even the Mackeys, we have a bunch of indicators here with the names of the tracks, and this is very old, so they don't have this in these devices. So it's really useful to have this context, and this was the way I solved it. But when I'm going to a bigger position, and the mixer is over, he can position the yellow dot in the same place again. So he's now a little confused. So what did I do to solve this issue? You've seen me disabling mixing mode. Okay, so mixing mode off. There's some little perks sometimes. So mixing mode off, and now what I had to do was I created a control track. So if I go here to the sequencer, I create a new audio track, and I use this control track. I call it control, and now I'm coloring this track to dark blue, and that issue about going back and forth with the channel doesn't happen anymore. So now we found the position, I'm going forward the position, now it stopped. Now it knows that's the control track. I don't have to look further because I don't need to. But if I go back, he goes back to the position and he finds the place, and now he's working. Okay, so this is great to have the context of the song. Of course, this song has nothing. I don't have anything here in the song, but it's great to have context in a device that in 4 pair devices that didn't give me any context. Now I have context, so I have full context of the track I've soloed when I'm in this mode. If I have this selected, now I'm working on this track and I'm controlling a bunch of parameters of the track with the BCR, and some stuff it's still on the BCFs, and toggling between all this stuff is really fast, and I almost don't use a mouse. Obviously I don't use the mouse because I have a trackpad, but I have a trackball, but I don't use the trackball when I'm mixing. I almost don't use it. I was talking about that I would use the SSL devices exclusively, but in this case I can also add stuff and control stuff with the BCR. I just have to be sure that the device that I'm controlling exists and has a track. And these devices pose a question, because if I'm in, these are some recent perks that we still have. Imagine that I'm working on a device that is that's a MIDI device, an instrument. And the reason I can place myself over track 3, that is friendly keys from Europa, and now reason positions itself there. Okay, until here everything is okay, because I'm controlling at this position. I'm controlling the channel of the mixer. But imagine that I wanted to control stuff from Europa. I could control stuff from Europa just by coming down here, this position. Europa is not the best example because I don't have stuff mapped in Europa yet. But imagine that I would go and use here a kit. Okay, it's here. Okay, but imagine that I was placed in this position. Okay, I was here. Okay, and I'm controlling this channel, and now I say I need to control the disco kit because I need to do something on it. I'm not in the disco kit, but if I go down a track, now I'm there. Okay, and I'm controlling the kit in the BCR. So if I go here to the device, I can open. Mind that now I'm not in mixing mode, so I have to disable mixing mode. But it's really fast. I just have to toggle to mixing mode off by Control F2, and I'm already working without other stuff. Now, of course, I need to work with the mouse to do some things, because I'm controlling cables, I'm defining other stuff, but still I try to have the most amount of stuff in the BCR mapped. So imagine that I'm working on something here, and now I'm turning the pitch of the kick. I think it's the kick. Yes, I'm changing the pitch of the kick, and I don't know these controls very well. I know it's doing something, but okay.